Why don't you take your power back? Decide, I am no longer going to conform. I am no longer going to change and hate myself anymore. And I am also going to go walk over here and find somebody else who's going to love me for me, instead of trying to make you love me. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alicia Gogan if you're new, and if you're new, don't forget to subscribe because it's a good time over here and I post videos all the time. And if you are not sick of me yet, then you can go check out my podcast, which is the Glow Up Secrets podcast. I'll have that link in the description. And come February, I will be recording the episodes and putting them on my channel as well, if you choose to see me and hear me at the same time. One last thing. I live in Canada, Toronto. The weather is insane right now. I am on a very high floor in my condo and the wind is outrageous. So if you hear noises, I'm sorry. My camera's also not the best. I have a Sony a5000. I am getting a new camera, okay guys? People in the comments will be saying like, it sounds like you're yelling at us, like you should really fix your speaker. Well, one, sometimes I am yelling at you. And for two, I do understand that the speaker's like not the best. I also live in a condo where I feel like I don't have that much furniture. So it's like, it's giving echo, it's giving get a mic, which we're doing that because I need a new camera, better quality for videos like this, but also for my podcast when I post on YouTube. But I digress. What we need to talk about today is how it's not you, it's them, and how you are actually way more worthy than you think. So last night I was watching this new YouTuber. Her name is, or her YouTube channel is called Wild Heart Waves. If you're really into dating and baby mama culture and all that kind of stuff, I'm really into that. She has beautiful, beautiful videos on the psychology of women and just dating and all that good stuff. Like, I haven't watched all of her videos, but some of them are really good. And well, the ones that I've seen are really good. And it's funny because one of the videos that I had clicked on, she made a video about the soft life, and she started playing TikToks at the intro of the video to talk about the soft life and what people are saying on TikTok about it. And of course she played one of my videos. I knew when she started playing the TikTok videos that mine was gonna come up because my soft life video on TikTok has a lot of views. And so I was watching one of her videos and it was all about social media's impact on your self-perception to the point where you get surgery, where you get BBLs, plastic surgery, whatever. And she's talking about how all these influencers, like especially if we're thinking about the rap culture girlies, how much work they're constantly getting done. And she was talking about the fact that there's no denying that social media has an influence on women who do this. Now, a lot of women will argue and be like, I'm doing it for myself, but I can see where some of them might be coming from, but I still don't think it's the full picture. But there's also a lot of them that will just tell themselves that they're getting it done for themselves, but it's really the social media influence. Like, you don't just wake up one day and decide that you need a bigger butt unless you're seeing other people uplift that one particular butt style and being like, oh my gosh, I feel less than. Maybe I should consider getting the surgery done. Now, this is not the video to tell you whether it's wrong or right to let social media influence what you want to do with your body or what you want to get done. But she was talking about the fact that people, especially influencers, especially when we're talking about female rappers, how they feel pressure to constantly keep up. Or anyone on social media, like the Instagram baddies, they constantly feel like they have to keep up and get their nails done like crazy, their teeth done, their hair done, like the wigs, the BBLs, the lipo, the everything. And it got me thinking like, okay, these girls, and when I say these girls, you can include me in it as well. I'm just analyzing this right now. These girls or women, why are they getting work done? They're getting work done because they are trying to not get criticized. Because when you're on social media and you put out who you are, you have people commenting and being like, look at her butt, or look at her teeth, they're all crooked, or look at her gross ass hair, or like not healthy hair, whatever. There's people who are constantly sending you negative feedback about yourself, and that is why you get these enhancements. That's why you see so many people on social media get so much work done, because there's so much criticism. So they're getting this work done because someone else is telling them that they're not good the way that they're at. And the thing that I think is so insane to me is that The person who is being negative and tearing you down and telling you how gross your body looks, they're saying those things because they're insecure themselves. And so isn't it messed up that we are gonna change ourselves based off of somebody else's insecurity? We're gonna start hating on ourselves because you hate on yourself. I'm gonna go under the knife and change my body because you don't like the look of my body. And the only reason why you don't like the look of my body is because you yourself are not happy with yours. And you've been taught to not like your body or like this body. Because the truth is, people who are very happy within themselves, they love themselves, they like their bodies, they like their face, they like their whatever, and they're just overall happy with themselves. They're not criticizing and tearing other people down. The people who are tearing you down, they're tearing you down because they're low. They're trying to get you down with them. Misery loves company. And like, think to yourself, maybe it's not a physical feature. Assuming that you are a good person, there are going to be people in your life that you come across that for some reason just either don't like you, or they get to know you and you guys don't vibe. They don't value something that you have about yourself, characteristics, personality, your interest. There might be men or women around you that you are just not their type. But what we usually do, instead of just seeing that, okay, this person has certain needs, they value certain things, they have a certain type, they like a certain thing, and I'm not that thing. Instead of realizing I'm not that thing and going to find someone else, or going to a different group of people, or putting ourselves around people who do value things about us, what we do is we tend to try to conform to the idea of what that person is looking for. We conform, we change, we manipulate, we hate ourselves if we're not that person and we can't be that person. And when it comes back to this beauty standard, this BBL, the getting the teeth done, getting the whatever, what these girls are doing is, okay, well, you like something, first of all, there's a person here that is insecure about something, let's be real, and they're projecting their insecurities on me. And because I'm in this show, this limelight, I can either decide not to fit into the standard and get left behind, quotation marks around left behind, or I can conform. But the problem with conforming is not only can you risk your life from doing some of the things that these girls are doing, which people are coming out all the time about how their BBLs are such a risk to their life and how they're still not secure within themselves. But also, you just become this person that is not you. You pick up certain personality traits and you like certain men. You spend your time partying or doing things that everyone else in that group is doing because you're trying to conform and fit in. But that's not you. That is not you. And what ends up happening is you just get into this rat race. You get into this cycle. So you see the girls who are online and they'll get one thing done, and then because they're still in the limelight, they're still on social media, and there's still people always coming at them saying, oh, you should change this about yourself, or you should do a little tweak on your hip, or oh, you should get your eyebrows whatever, or your hair this way. They're constantly getting enhancements to the point where they're literally killing themselves, to the point where they're literally risking their health. They're changing their bodies so much that when you see photos from them from like 3 years ago versus now, they're a completely different person. And the worst part about it is they're still unhappy. They're still miserable. They still hate themselves. And this is all because of what someone else projected onto them. This is all because of somebody else's insecurity to begin with. You tell yourself that you are the problem, that you should be fixed, that you should change. But it's not you, it's them. You are not the problem. They have a problem based off of their own insecurity, their own, let's say not even a problem, their own wants and needs and interests and things that they value. And just because you don't fit that standard or their box, you're gonna now tell yourself that you're the problem and that you need to go fit into that box. See, that is what we're going to stop doing. We are going to stop trying to fit and morph ourselves into boxes where that other person is clearly not for us. That person's insecurities should not affect us. The things that that person values and wants and is looking for in a relationship, looking for in a woman, looking for in life, looking to spend their time doing, if that is not aligned, and if that doesn't really work with us, we are no longer gonna go in that direction anymore. See, there comes a point in your life where you're going to need to realize that you're never going to be everyone's cup of tea. There's going to be a point where you realize not everyone is going to like you, nor should you conform yourself over and over again to try and get somebody to like you. There comes a point where you need to stop taking everything so seriously and personal and realize you're not going to fit in everyone's box, and that's okay. See, sometimes what we have is resistance to the fact that someone else does not accept something that we perceive that they should accept about us. So there's the girls who will conform and change themselves over and over again to try and fit in that box, but then there's also people, I don't even want to say girls, because men too. There's people who get so mad at the fact that other people have values and wants and needs and preferences, and they'll tell that person, you shouldn't have that. You should be attracted to every body type. You should like this body type. You should accept this, that, and the third about me. I shouldn't have to change anything. Well, the truth is, people have preferences. People have wants and needs. People have different lives than you. People have grown up with certain backgrounds and influences and needs and wants, which means they're gonna need different things. So you getting mad and trying to get somebody else to accept all parts of you, how's that working out for you? Because I know the movements, and I'm gonna think about them in my head, we don't need to go there. But I know some of the movements that are currently happening right now, and I get why, because people are so frustrated with so many beauty standards and people being racist and people being left out and discriminatory. Understandable, that is totally a thing. But it comes to the point where instead of trying to get your power back by forcing someone else and manipulating someone else to like something about you, which will not happen, why don't you take your power back? Decide, I am no longer gonna conform. I am no longer going to change and hate myself anymore. And I am also gonna go walk over here and find somebody else who's going to love me for me, instead of trying to make you love me. This person doesn't like your body type? Okay, bet, whatever. Go somewhere else and find somebody who actually likes you, for you. You see, the thing is with us as human beings is we need external validation. We need validation because we need to feel like we are part of something. We need to feel like we're connected. And that's okay. You should absolutely get validation from people around you. But you can't also force and manipulate other people to like everything about you. You need to go find people who like you. And when you find that you are wanting everyone else to validate you, or trying to change everyone's minds about you, or you're trying to fit in everyone's boxes, that's when it's time for you to learn how to validate yourself and take back your power and say, you know what? I am good enough. I am gonna stop getting so many things done to myself and stop trying to conform to everyone's boxes, and I'm gonna tell myself that I am enough. Once you actually step into the power of saying I am enough, you are going to start to see around you that people start to respond to that, respond to your energy. See, I think this really, to the core, comes down to power and feeling empowered. When you think about body positivity movements, when you think about feminism, all these movements that are coming up, these people in any of these groups, they have felt disempowered for all of their life. And they're trying to speak their truth. They're trying to get people to see them, to accept them, to love them. And partly, absolutely, are these movements needed? For one, yes, they're needed. The feminist movement gave us so much power, it's insane. Same thing with body positivity, same thing with all of these different movements. But there becomes a tipping point where it becomes a little bit too much, and we're not realizing that in order to feel true power and true empowerment, we don't need to manipulate and change and force people to like us the way that they did, the way that they put us down. And that's when we actually start to lose power once again. See, when we're trying to get back at someone, we're trying to get back at someone because we just want to feel powerful. But in order to actually feel true empowerment, you don't want to play their game. You don't want to keep fighting with them. Why? That's not true empowerment. You know what's powerful? You deciding to take your power back, standing up and saying, no, I'm gonna stop conforming to your shit, and I'm gonna find people, and I'm gonna validate myself, and I'm gonna do what I need to do, and I'm gonna be who I want to be, regardless of what you are going to do or not do, regardless of whether you're gonna change your mind about me or not. I don't care about what you have to think about me anymore. You don't like the way my body looks? Okay. First of all, you probably don't even like yourself, but I digress. That is not something that I'm going to even have a conversation with you about, because you are convinced that I don't fit your standard. That's great. Have your own standards. I'll be over here with my own standards around people who love me. See, when you're in cycles like this, when you're conforming, when you're trying to get validation, when you are trying to get your voice heard, when you are stepping into a new era of yourself, you have to realize what you're trying to do. You're trying to get a need met. We all have needs that didn't get met in childhood. Always. Especially for women, we have been taught and we have been raised majority of the time with not a lot of power. So that's why you see the rise of feminism. You see the rise of this powerful wanting to be powerful and strong and screw you men and I'm gonna hurt you like you did to me. And I see it, I feel the power within that. And partly that can be absolutely true, and maybe you need to go through that journey in order to feel some empowerment first. But this is your reminder that the true power comes from you not stooping to their level. I don't know why I'm pointing up here, because really it's down there. not stooping to their level. Actually, having some understanding and compassion of where they're coming from, because they're hurt themselves, and saying, you know what, no, I'm no longer, I'm not gonna entertain this anymore. I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna create my new life, my new standard of being. That's powerful. So if you have recognized yourself in any of the examples or anything that I've said in this video, which I want to just remind you that this has also been me myself. I have gone through a very long journey of trying to love myself again and take my power back, and not try to get all external validation and change myself completely to be somebody else just so I can get liked and loved, because that's truly what it is, right? We want to feel empowered, and we want to feel powerful, and we want to feel loved and connected. And when you want to feel loved and connected, like, you do need validation from other people. You need to feel connected. But if you have seen yourself in any of these examples or anything that I'm talking about, then yeah, you might have gone a little too much to one side. Maybe you're only getting your validation from other people, or maybe you're getting your validation from the wrong people. Or maybe you've just been raised with not a lot of power. And if that is the case, then I have some tips for you on how you can revalidate yourself and take back your power. For one, it's going to be, this is a more physical thing. You need to start surrounding yourself with people who uplift your features and qualities. Now, again, some people might be like, why do I have to do this at all? Like, everyone should accept everyone. Well, that's not the video, okay? Because at the end of the day, if we're being real, I'm somebody that does still live in reality, although I love to have balance. Do looks matter in terms of just like a whole perspective of being on social media or even off social media? Yeah, they do, okay? So this is not about you having to be perfect or everything about you done to the nine. So if you're really struggling to validate yourself, or you're struggling with your body image or whatever image issues, you need to surround yourself with people who uplift these qualities or these traits about you whenever is possible. It's not gonna be all the time, right? Because your life doesn't revolve around people having to constantly validate you, but start dating guys who find you attractive. Find people on social media who have the same body type as you, who have the same features as you, who are embodying the beautiful, empowered state of being the way that you are trying to do. See, there's gonna be a lot of people on social media that you look up to that are like, oh my gosh, she's beautiful. Oh my gosh, she has this great confidence in herself. Oh, she has this, that, and the third. But can you relate? Can you see yourself in her? I used to look up to all of these girls on social media who literally didn't look anything like me, didn't have the same mindset as me, didn't have the same life as me, the same clothes as me, the same anything. So it was really hard for me to look at them and then cultivate that same energy and really love my features, because I didn't look like them. I couldn't even relate. So it is important that when you are on social media or when you're around people in general, that you feel like you do fit in. And this doesn't have to be forever. This is one thing I'm going to note for you. This tip is really for someone who is really struggling right now with their body and their self-image, because Me as a 27-year-old now, you can put me in a room with girls who look absolutely nothing like me, who have work done to the nines, and they look amazing, like so good. Whatever. I actually have a lot of confidence within myself that doesn't tear me down. That doesn't tear me down the way it used to tear me down if I were to be put in the same room. So you have to really see where you're at in terms of your own healing journey. And this is why I'm giving you this tip. It's like you might have to aid yourself and help yourself. Like stop putting yourself around, like let's say you're going out to the clubs and you're going out with these girls who, first of all, they're done to the nines. They make you feel like crap about yourself. The way that they dress are not the way that you dress. The guys that they're dating are not guys that are like would probably be interested in you or you even interested in them. Like you're very intimidated. Don't be around that. I used to seriously be around that and I'd be like, I hate myself. Like literally every time I go out, I'm so insecure, I'm so worried. I literally automatically think every single guy absolutely hates me because I don't look anything like these girls. And now, was that completely true? No, but it affected the way that I actually felt. And when you feel like crap about yourself, you're not gonna put your best foot forward. You're not gonna be magnetizing. You're not gonna be energetically like pulling people in. So be very careful who you're looking up to, who you're following on social media, even if it's just for a small amount of time. This really helped me build more of my own self-confidence and validate myself when I stopped looking at so many people that weren't like me. And when I did look at other people, I tried to look at people that were resembling my traits and my qualities. I got used to being able to see myself in other people, then seeing so much difference that it just broke me. Another tip, which I should have probably started with this, but whatever, is you have to heal the wound that created this low self-worth in the first place. Because at the end of the day, like you can protect yourself all you want and not be around people who are gonna put you down, but if you really still have this low self-worth, like you have to heal this part of you, because that is what's gonna truly be able to help you stand up when you are around people who don't look like you. So doing inner child work, doing parts work, shadow work is really good when it comes to parts of you that you feel embarrassed about, that you hate about, that you're insecure about. I do have some resources about shadow work and how I use shadow work to also actually manifest and create the life that I want in the link in the description. And one thing I'm gonna say about relationships, because I feel like body image and everything I'm talking about, it does affect your relationships as well. And if you feel a lot of low self-worth, if you feel ugly, if you feel like you have to conform and fit into a box, you're gonna have a hard time having relationships. So you need to be aware of the relationships that are being shown to you in real life and again on social media, and make sure that the people that are influencing you, they're rooted in values, they have morals, they care more about love and relationship and building and communicating rather than aesthetics. So this might be unfollowing some of those couple goals or family goals on social media where really and truly you're only so obsessed with them because they live this picture perfect life. Now, of course, looking at that stuff is motivating, and this is why I say only for a short amount of time, because now I can look at those families and be like, wow, this is something that I would aspire to be, but that doesn't affect my self-concept. But if I were to keep constantly feeding my mind that kind of stuff, yes, I would feel really crap about myself, and I can watch myself when I start to get affected by people on social media, and then that's when I step away. You might not even be aware of how much social media really affects your self-perception and also affect the type of guys that you're dating. Like if you're just dating men who are just so hot and make so much money and only care about looks, that's not gonna help you when you're trying to heal your self-image issues. And another thing to focus on is things outside of your appearance, which means literally like read books, start listening to podcasts, start learning skills, start doing hobbies, start doing things outside of just changing your body and trying to look on the outside picture perfect and fitting into everyone's boxes. Because once you actually spend time trying to figure out who you really are and what you like to do in life and what you value outside of all the aesthetics, that's when you'll actually be aligned with people who care more about values and love and communicating and relationships versus aesthetics, like your appearance or wanting you to fit and conform into their boxes. You'll actually find people who are interested in the same things as you, instead of you having to see how there's this one guy who you think in your head you really want, and he's attracted to girls who always do their nails and always do their hair, so I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna pretend like I'm interested in that, or I'm gonna pretend like I'm this one girl when you're not. Stop trying to conform and fit that box. Find your own path. Learn who you are. And you're gonna find people, especially men, but friends as well, who are interested in the same thing. And I think the illusion with social media is that we see this social media kind of encompasses just this one idea of like beauty standard and like what girls should be interested in and what guys are interested in. But the truth is that's not the full picture. There are so many people in their day-to-day life, half of them are not even on social media, that are interested in so many things that are just so valuable and beautiful. And until you actually bring your attention to these things, only then will you actually be able to see and meet these people. So remember that. Social media really screws up how you think about yourself and how you think that you should be. So anyways, rant over. I feel like I actually rant a lot. Sometimes I'm like, do I give advice or do I just rant? I think I do both. I definitely do both, but it depends on what we're talking about and how much experience I guess I've had in this thing that maybe hits home. So if you, for any reason, think that I'm yelling at you or like complaining or being in my masculine energy sometimes, well, it's because I have so much connection and truth to what I am saying that it comes across like that. And this is just a good reminder of what masculine energy actually looks like in a woman. Because I know I don't know why I'm talking about this right now, like this is literally not the video, but a lot of women, they struggle with knowing like when and how to express masculine energy and what that looks like. And I have so many videos on that, by the way, so just like go check my channel. And there's ways in which you can express masculine energy. And one way is to speak the way that I'm speaking. So I love to live in my feminine energy. And feminine energy is not just how you look, but it's also the way that you convey messages, the way that you connect with people. And sometimes it's always the guys who are like from the red pill community, and they'll be like, you're yelling and you're in your masculine energy, but you're talking about feminine energy. It's like, yeah, I'm expressing. When I express myself this way, it is a form of like that masculine energy, because like I'm teaching, I'm telling, I'm giving advice, I'm guiding. That's a form of masculine energy. So just know, if you're really interested, what it would look like to be a woman in her masculine energy, and this is how I can be sometimes in my videos. I'm not always like that, but when it comes to passionate topics, I am. Anyways, rant over once again. If you still struggle with body image issues, self-concept, just feeling like you're never enough, please go watch a video that's on the screen right now. And I posed you a question in that video, and that question is, when will you be enough? I hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to like this video. Please like it if you enjoyed this, so that way I know to make more or less of this content. And of course, subscribe. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.